Hi, welcome to the Freestyla demonstration video. I'd like to take about 20 minutes of your time for those who have already purchased the Freestyla clipper guides and just want a bit more information or comprehensive information on using them, or if you are an owner of Wahl clippers and you want to be able to do more creative styles at home, these are the tools for you. Firstly, if you're a serious home hairstylist, you already have a set of Wahl clippers. They're the number one clipper for using at home. If you oil them regularly, look after them, they'll last you for many years and they're a fantastic tool. Up till now, you've been able to fit a number 2, 3 or 4 and trim around the head and give a really neat short hairstyle. But if you want to do longer hairstyles, if you want to layer hair, if you want to trim bangs, trim long hair, thin hair, cut spikes in, cut pointed shapes, all these different styles are made simple with the addition of a Freestyla clipper guide set. The main tool for this is the Freestyla layer guide that has internal combs which you retract with your thumb. This enables you to slip the guide in through the hair, release the button which grips the hair at the scalp. It can then either be pulled out for layering or tilted down this way for a graduated look. That's gradually short to long, which is the basis of most men's styles. And of course, through the top, it's simply slipped through, lifted up and layered. You'll see this demonstrated on many styles in the next few minutes. We also have the Freestyla fringe guide, or bangs. You'll see this splits into 3, it slips through the hair, we grip and then can pull down the hair for cutting neat lines into bangs or long hair. Also demonstrated is the Freestyla hairline guide, a simple little tool for getting neat lines around the neck or around the ear, the hairline guide. Then we have the clip-ons. We have the spiker to cut that spiky texture through the top, or the thinner. These both fit on the Wahl clipper and really give that extra professional look to your hairstyles at home. Firstly, using the layer guide. I'm going to demonstrate 4 different hairstyles. I'm using the layer guide through the sides first, and then I'm going to, on the 4 haircuts, and then I'm going to layer through the haircuts. Here you see on a short haircut, the layer guide is running from the bottom hairline upwards, but not tilted out much. This still cuts the hair from shorter to longer on the top, but not as long on the top, so you get a nice, neat, short haircut. Here you'll notice the thumb is on the hairline and you roll back and then trim off the hair, going from the sides into the back, and you end up with perfectly cut short sides. Then we're going to go to longer layers. Again, my thumb is going to be on the hairline, but I'm rolling back further and trimming the sides into that longer layered look. As with the short haircut, I'm going round, thumb on the hairline, rolling back and trimming off the ends. You can go back through, check you've got everything, so you have a perfect line through there. In, roll back and trim off the excess. So, shorter layers, only bring out the tool a little bit. On longer layers, in, at the hairline, roll back and trim off the excess hair. Into the hairline, roll back, and you'll notice the teeth hold the hair all in place. Even when you cut it, it stays in place. Now we're looking at fine boys' hair on the very popular long sweeping styles. Obviously the sides have got to be layered and then cut in a long forward motion. Firstly, we layer through the sides, pulling outwards and cutting that curved shape, so even on this fine hair you don't get any marks in the hair. Just keep pulling outwards and trimming off the sides. We'll then go up slightly towards the layering at the top. Now this is interesting. We're going to hold the layer guide further up the hair, above the hairline, to get the pointed shape through the top. You notice I'm evenly about 1.5 inches above the ear and then rolling back, and that gets the very popular pointed shape through the top. We'll see this textured and layered later on. Go through, keep following the same line, and it's cut with the number 4 around the bottom. So we don't worry about the bottom till after we've shaped through the top, and then use the number 4. Here we're layering the same style, so we use the layer guide, we push it through, lift it up and cut the center in that curved shape. We're then going to cut either side of that top line, which just cuts the end bits off that point and gives a really smart style. Go in, lift up, just a little bit to trim off, and now we're working onto the longer layer. You see the lengths at either side. I've just left that hair in the middle. You lift up and then easily just cut off the crown in that curved shape. We're then going to go in from the front, right back, grips the hair at the root, lifts up and trim off. Of course, each time you retract the combs, push through, grip at the root, lift outwards and trim. Here we're just going through to blend those longer sides into a longer layered top. And very easily you've got a perfect longer layered haircut. Going up to check, just a few tiny bits left over, and trim them off. Now on the fine hair we're layering through the crown. You notice I switched hands here just to pick up the clippers. It's sometimes easier to have somebody to hold the clippers. Trim the crown up, and we're then going to go in from the front hairline, but before that we'll just check around the curves of the crown. There's not much to cut off, but lifting out, and of course no marks left in the hair because of the curved shape. Now we'll go in from the front hairline, retract the combs, slip right through back to the crown, lift up, and there you'll notice it's getting longer towards the front for that long sweeping look. We'll then all these sections go towards the crown, lift and then trim. Again, lift and trim, and that's the style finished. It really is that easy. The next style we're going to look at, we're going to trim the sides off short. We'll pin the top out of the way and trim the sides off short with the number 4. This style is really popular at the moment. It goes from short through the side into a short layered crown and longer near the front. So trim those sides off with the number 4, then around the crown using the layer guide to go from that short number 4 at the back to a longer top. Notice the angle of it, so you're blending that short hair into the longer top with the layer guide coming right up through the side. Always using the curved shape, which gives you a perfect line and absolutely no marks. We'll just trim the sides off using the guide 1, 2, 3, 4 through the sides there to blend that number 4 in with that longer top and longer front. And you'll see then the layer guide being used to layer through the top. Finish the sides, in through the front, lift up and trim off, and that gives you a perfect style. There is a video of this on YouTube. And lift away, and that gives you the shape. And here you can see we just lift up and we're going to just finish there. And now to demonstrate the fringe or bangs guide. Firstly, we're going to do blunt bangs. You'll notice with the bangs guide, it splits into 3. grip the hair neatly, pull it down here to the middle of the nose, which gives the longest of bangs. It's great to start at this point. Lift away from the nose slightly so you don't bang the nose, and trim off. Now, if you need shorter ones, you can trim shorter from there, but that's a great bangs. Here I'm trimming long hair, so I'm gripping at the center, bring it down. This is thick, fine hair, which will really show a mark if it's not cut correctly. So I've pulled down at the center. I'm only trimming about ½ an inch off, and then take the next section, gripping high up on the head, pulling down, and then following that line round over the shoulder a little. Continue the line around, and just follow the line visually. You can see it straight, and finish the last section, the front coming out over the shoulder. We'll just check that it's properly blended there. Yes, it is, but we'll just nip the last little bit off. And the other side, we control the hair, hold, grip high up, bring down, and pull right down. Visually, you can just see it straight. You've got the little ½ inch to cut off, trim that forward, and you can even use the guides to bring down and check whether both lengths are even. Now we're here using the fringe guide just to trim off the front of the pointed style. So we're doing a sort of pointed bangs up at the top here, just so it's a nice, neat finish to the pointed style. Next one we're going to look at is, of course, the big bangs, the forward sweeping fringe. Here I'm doing it at a slight angle and bringing that across so it brushes, so pushing it the other way, and make sure you don't hit the nose like I did, and that goes down. Now the sides are brought forward in the sweep. This is the look. Trim that off and trim the edge there. So the fringe bangs guide finishes the hair off perfectly for that forward sweeping fringe. Let's see if it works properly. Perfect. Now let's look at the use of the hairline guide. The hairline guide has two main functions. Here the curved end is just used for getting those tricky little bits around the ear which are really hard to get to. Now with the large curve, just great for trimming around the neckline. Here's thick hair, you can use it on the thick hair, bringing this all down and trimming that the line off. This is really useful when you're trimming just around the hairline. We'll just see it now on some short hair where you just need to sometimes tidy up around the neckline, and you use that as an easy to find guide. And now let's look at the spiker and the thinner being used. Here's the pointed style we've already done, and now to give it that really modern look, I've fitted the spiker and I'm cutting the top spike. I go one way and then the other to give it that really great finish. Here I'm using the thinner just to give that texture through the shorter hair. You always go with the way the hair grows with the thinner, but the spiker you crisscross through the top to give that texture. Here again we're fitting the thinner. To have a closer look at this, I'm going to go through the hair. You see the direction I want to push it in? You see the direction the hair is going to grow, and then you push it through in that direction. Here I've got quite thick hair, thinning it through, and it gives a texture. The spiker crisscross through the top gives that nice texture, and we'll just thin the front a little bit as well with it. Perfect texture. Thank you for watching this Freestyla information. I hope you found it very informative. As I say, if you've already got them, this will make it styling easier for you. And if you haven't, you can find out more information at freestyla.com. Thank you very much, and happy home styling.